Hi guys, I'm DevShot and this is Minecraft. What I'm doing here is I'm going to give you a tutorial on how to make water ladders. Now there are two types of water ladders, regular water ladders and invisible water ladders. This tutorial was mainly made for the invisible water ladder because I could never understand any of the other tutorials on YouTube were looking at how to make it. The key to making it, in fact, was the fact there was a regular water ladder, only with a hole to climb up a block to the right. So, with that said, I'm going to show you how to make regular water ladders as well. The way water ladders work is that there's a feature in the game that makes the water want to push you up to the top, to the air bubble. So when you try and climb up the air bubble, it basically pushes you up to the top faster than the ladders would. I will also show you how to make a water pad, which basically makes you go through water, which slows down your descent. You will need a shovel and a pick, a water bucket, and a few ladders and signs. You can make this with either ladders or signs because both of them block the flow of water. But I make them with signs because it lets you drop faster. Ladders also slow your descent. So first of all, let me show you how this works. This is a regular water ladder. I'm just going to drop here. That was the water pad. And by clicking space, I'm just going to go flying up. Yep. And this is an invisible water ladder. And here, I'm going to drop. Give me a second, sorry. And to go out, you have to point this corner. And you go flying out. Now to make a regular water ladder, it's really easy. I've already set up this little mold here. Shoot. Okay, anyways. Basically, you want to dig down as deep as you want to go. See that little block right there? This is where the water will go. So dig down all the way. A little bit deeper. And now, every other block you want to make a hole. And you want to fill this back up with sand. So I'll show you how this looks. This looks like, well, this. You see? Every other block has a hole. And you fill this back up with sand. Now sand is important. You want to fill it with sand or gravel, but because you want something that is affected by gravity. Sand is just, you know, easier to get rid of and hurt your shovel less. So I would use that. Actually, let's see. The ladder doesn't matter what the rungs are made from in the ladder. It can be either stone or dirt or anything that's not affected by gravity like that. Sorry for the lagging or FPS hits. This computer was not made for Minecraft. I have an integrated graphics chip. Ah, stupid. Oh, okay. Now this last block you want to hit and fill up with water. And over here, you're just gonna dig down until you can't dig down anymore. Well, until you reach the end of your water ladder, basically, really. And I'll show you why. Oh, wait, I forgot to mention something. You want to put in a sign in front of each hole you make. So, one right there, and one right there, and one right there. so on and so forth until you get down. So I'm just gonna speed up this part really quickly. Okay guys, hi. So the next step here would be making the water pad. Basically, the reason I made two is because it's easier to fall down. But at another sign, take two more buckets of water and drop them, one there and one there. And let me add a torch so you can see what I'm doing now. Now, the last step in making the water ladder would be taking out the sand. Now, some people say don't use a shovel. I don't agree. You can use whatever you want. Just do it slowly. I waited till I get the block. But what you have to do is, you have to let the water flow into the holes you make. If you do it too fast, the water will just drop down and not flow. And then the water ladder won't work because you won't have the little air bubble. And now, oh yeah, sometimes it's hard to get to the top depending on how you build it. So select that, a little ladder. Whoa, sorry. There we go. The ladder at the top. And that was the regular water ladder. Hello guys, I'm back. This is the second part of the tutorial. The one I'm about to show you is how to make an invisible water ladder. I actually had to go, and while this may be in the same video as the original water ladder tutorial, it's a different video, so sorry. Basically what you have here is I've made a regular water ladder, as you can see, but the only exception is instead of the source block being here is stationary, the source block has been moved one block to the right from this, or to the left, or back, one block away, so the water actually goes down when it's moving. And this is a regular water ladder, as you can see. I don't know if you can see, so I'm gonna add some light. Lots of light. Works just fine. Oh, and here I went too fast, so this is what happens when you go too fast. But basically, now to make this into an invisible water ladder, all you have to do is kill these torches. Fill this back up. So, gonna fill this up like so. Here, apparently, actually I put a torch there. So, let me fix this quickly. Have a quick source block right there. We'll just fill that up. Okay. So that's 6. I'm gonna have to fix this one as well. hope you can see this. I hope you can hear this actually. And now, you just need to cut into this. And you have an invisible water ladder. If you want to add a landing pad, just sign over your head. And add some water. Won't change a thing. I hope this helped. I'm sure there's a faster way of doing this than making the actual water ladder, but once you get the idea, then you should be able to find those ways out yourself. Yep. See you later, guys.